Ah yes, another beautiful day in Boulder, and for those of you guys who don't live in Colorado, you may think that we get 8 months of winter a year, which is true if you live up there in the mountains, but down here in the Front Range, it's beautiful weather. So I thought I would take today and go exploring and try to find Cliffhanger 3.0. We've been looking for a new way to test off-road vehicles, and usually winter and off-roading don't mix because there's just way too much snow, it's way too slippery and way too dangerous. But we did find a new trail at the end of last year called Pennsylvania Gulch, which we want to call Cliffhanger 3.0. And after a week of beautiful sunshine, I thought it'd be worth taking a ride to see if I could scout out Pennsylvania Gulch as a possible new test for all of our off-road vehicles. Now there is a snowstorm coming, and I think there's a warning about it on the new Rugged Ridge radio that Tommy installed on our long-term Jeep. Let's just check out the weather before we head into the hills.
Partly cloudy, windy, lows in the lower to mid-20s. West winds 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts to around 40 miles an hour.
So it looks like we've got good weather, but windy weather. Now, it's about 68 here in Boulder, but it's gonna get a lot colder when we get up in the mountains. So off-roading and snow really don't mix. There's not enough traction. It gets very dangerous very quickly when there is a lot of snow. We almost crashed a Tiguan earlier this week when we took it up Cliffhanger 2.0, and it slid backwards for a long way into a tree. That was quite the pucker moment. But we've had now 7 days of really good weather, so I'm hoping that Pennsylvania Gulch, or Cliffhanger 3.0 as we want to call it, is clear so we can at least take a look and see if it'll make a good test for our serious off-road vehicles. We've been using Cliffhanger 2.0 now for a couple of years, and I think it's time to find something that's a little bit more challenging, something that can really put these off-roaders to the test. And I'm hoping that this trail is it. It's 2 miles of very steep uphill with a lot of big rocks, lots of ruts, roots that cross the path, and just an exceptional good test. I'm hoping this won't turn into another TFL misadventure because I'm kind of here by myself, and all I've got is a radio in case I get stuck. One of the things I love about Colorado is kind of this dual nature of our weather. You're expecting Colorado to be cold and windy and snowy, but here it's higher desert, really. It's very dry and very sunny. That's one of the things that I fell in love with when I first came to school out here. One of the things that drew me to Colorado as a place to live. Of course, the exact opposite is true in the mountains. There, the moisture comes from the west coast, hits the mountains, and it all falls as snow. We shall see. Maybe I've been fooled by today's lovely sunny day, but I'm hoping that we can at least check out the beginning of Pennsylvania Gulch. You know what? From now on, I think I'm just going to go with Cliffhanger 3.0. I like that better than Pennsylvania Gulch. I'll leave that to all you Easterners.
Northwest winds of 25 to 45 miles per hour and gusts to around 65 miles per hour will also produce areas of blowing snow in the mountains and higher foothills, which could significantly reduce visibilities at times through Monday evening.
Well, there you have it, guys. High winds, fire danger, and snow in the mountains. I have been driving now for about 10 minutes up the canyon, and it's already gotten down to 60 degrees. So in 5 minutes it's dropped 8 degrees, and I was looking at the snow, and there seems to be a lot of snow on the north-facing hills, which means that it's going to be snowy when we get to this little town of Sunlight, where the trail officially starts from. And as we head up further into the mountains, it's going to get colder and it's going to get more winter-like. And that's kind of the cool dichotomy of living in Colorado. Great thing about Colorado, if you love off-roading like I do, is that you go into the mountains and any road will turn into a dirt road like it did just now, which will turn into a double track, which eventually will turn into a single track. And that's mainly because this whole area was mined. In the 1800s, people swarmed all over these mountains in search of gold, because there was, and there still is, gold in them there hills. So these are old mining towns where people sought their fame, or more likely their fortune. And we've been gone out of Boulder exactly 15 minutes and it's down to 57 degrees. And Old Man Winter is starting to show his teeth a little bit. And it's just becoming much more mountain-like. The other interesting thing about being in these mountain towns is that you got mountain folk here, which means that people move up here to get away from all of us people in the Front Range, and you end up with people who value their privacy, and of course we have a lot of cool cars parked in front of their house. And he just said, F you to me. Yep. She was a little friendlier. They don't like the city folk coming through here and disturbing their peace. What are you gonna do?
I have been at Pennsylvania Gulch. I don't recommend it.
Yeah? How bad is it?
I've gotten lost up there.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it turns into just really steep sections that I mean, the road just degrades, and with the snow like this, I don't think I would recommend it with your car.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm just scouting it, but I think you're right. Now you guys may be wondering, why am I so worried about snow? This is a very difficult, tricky trail. I've walked part of it, and when you have a lot of loose rocks, big ruts, big roots, and you air down, the Jeep is able to just crawl over that stuff. It's a lot of fun. But when there's a lot of snow and ice, it becomes frightening. You just can't get any grip on the road surface, and the weight of the Jeep will make it slide down the mountainside. That's really what my main worry is. Crashing and burning. Well, we've made it to the little town of Sunlight, which is really where Cliffhanger 3.0 starts from. So let's give this a try. Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is that it's only 20 degrees colder up here. I was expecting it to be much colder. The bad news, of course, is, yeah, I got lots of snow. But I've got some pretty good tires. Those are mud and snows, they're not dedicated snow tires. And the trail is only half covered with snow. So I'm gonna go see how far we can get up this trail and do a little bit of scouting and see if this is gonna be the appropriately hard trail for Cliffhanger 3.0. And if I get stuck, I guess I always got a radio to call for help. afraid of getting a little bit of, let's call it Colorado pinstriping, because that's what's going to happen. Of course, with the Wrangler, I kind of feel like that's what this Jeep is designed for, and so you don't worry about a little bit of pinstriping. And I'm actually surprised by just how little snow there is up here. I thought it'd be a lot trickier. So far, so good. Cliffhanger 3.0 is about a 2-mile straight up old mining trail. Well, it's starting to get a little steeper. There's a bit of a drop off to my left. When I say bit of a drop off, I just mean like 50 feet. Not a lot for Colorado, but certainly enough to ruin your day. The best news of all is that the snow isn't covering the whole trail, only parts of it. And so far the Jeep is a little mountain goat, just climbing up and enjoying the ride. Okay, that's getting a little trickier. Now we're scrambling a little bit more. Now below me and over here next to me looks like what is a remnants of a mine. There's actually a pipe that's running along the side of the trail right here. And we're starting to get into some pretty deep snow here. Yep, definitely an old mine. You know, this might be a good place to pull over and get the drone out and get the lay of the land. I did see some homes in the gulch driving up here. Yeah, let's take a look and let's do some reconnaissance using the drone. See how bad that trail gets before we head on up. I gotta tell you, I'm not sure our little Mavic is gonna fly up here. Not only are we probably close to 9,000 feet above sea level, but more importantly, it's very windy, and these little guys don't like flying in the wind. So let's see if we have any luck. Hey, it's recording. All right, let's fly this bad boy. So this is definitely the remains of an old mine. Basically, it's a tailings pile, and a tailings pile is what you take out of the earth when you're digging for gold or whatever they were mining for here at one point in time. All right, I was wrong. 48 degrees. So now make that 47. So basically, it's 30 degrees colder here, and we're maybe half hour outside of Boulder. Then it make that 46 degrees than it is in Boulder, and that's what I love about the mountains. Well, the good news is, even this high wind, the drone was able to come back to the Jeep. The bad news is it started to snow a little bit, and this trail is getting a little icy. I would say the biggest issue is it's going to be hard to turn around. This is definitely a one-way, no turning kind of trail. And all I see is, well, a lot more snow. And we will come back here when the snow melts. So this TFL adventure is definitely to be continued. Yep, summer that way, winter that way. You gotta love Colorado. Looks like the sun is starting to go down, so thank you guys for joining me on this TFL scouting trip. I don't want to turn this into a misadventure, so I'm going to turn around. But we will come back in the spring, and we're going to have some fun videos up here because this is Cliffhanger 3.0. As always, this is Roman saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, off-roading reviews. See you guys next time. Ciao. You know, I think when it starts snowing in the Jeep, that's probably a good time to close the top. All right, well, we do have a heater though. And the Jeep heater is spectacular. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a good heater in this Jeep. Look at that.